The Thing in the Woods. Narrated by Beatlesfanize. The following was taken from Joshua Dalton's diary. To this day, Joshua's whereabouts are unknown. April 5th, 1978. My hands are shaking as I write this. Today, I decided to go for a walk in the woods near my house. It was a perfect day for it, too. The sun was out, the birds were singing, no clouds in the sky, just gorgeous. After lunch, I got my coat and set out on the worn dirt trail leading into the woods. I was walking along, enjoying the fresh air and the silence, when I came across a set of tracks in the soil. I have never seen anything like them. They looked like human footprints, but the toes were longer and narrower, like claws. When I bent down to give them a closer look, they seemed pretty fresh. I should have turned around and went back at that moment. But, out of curiosity, I began to follow the tracks. They led me through the section of forest where the tree branches were so long and intertwined that they blanketed the sky, only letting small cracks of sunlight in. The tracks ended at a small brook. I stopped to listen. There was no sound but the water rushing over the smooth rocks. Then I heard a rustle of grass and dead leaves close by. Slowly, I walked towards the sound. I came to a small clearing, and that's where I saw it. I really don't know how to describe the thing. It had the shape of an adult human. It was fairly tall, at least 6 feet, probably more. Its skin was made up of pale blue diamond-shaped scales that had a wet shimmer to them, like the skin of a fish, and it was bent over the mangled body of the dead deer with its jaws latched onto the animal's neck. The thing made a loud sucking sound. I thought it might have been drinking the deer's blood. Slowly, very slowly, I started to back away. Then it looked at me. Its mouth was wide and round and filled with long, yellow, needle-like teeth arranged in a circle. It had no nose, but 2 little slits where the nose would be on a human. I tried to bring myself to run away, but I couldn't. The thing stared at me for what seemed like forever, with its big eyes that glimmered with a kind of alien intelligence. I turned my gaze to the dead deer. On its neck was a ring of little holes where the creature was drawing blood. The thing pointed at me with its crooked fingers and let out the most god-awful sound. I can't find the words to describe it. Before I could even react, the thing lunged at me. I was on my back, grappling with the creature. Its teeth were close to my face. I dug in my pockets of my coat and for my knife as the thing dug its back claws into my sides. The pain was unimaginable. What happened next is a haze, but I definitely remember finally getting my knife out and plunging it deep into the creature's scaly flesh. As deep as I could. Oily, black blood spurted out as the thing let out an ear-splitting scream as it twitched and clawed at me. I twisted the knife and dug it in deeper until the thing finally fell backwards off of me. I ran until my legs were sore. I don't know if that thing pursued me, but I sure as hell didn't turn around to find out. It was so nice to see my house again. I finally got inside. My coat and shirt were tattered and stained with both of mine and the creature's blood. I went into the bathroom and looked at what the creature had done. My chest was covered in stinging red scratches. Thankfully, none of them were too deep. I spent a very painful hour with gauze and a bottle of peroxide disinfecting these wounds. I took my knife out and I took a look at it. It was covered with the thing's ink-dark blood. I made sure all the doors were locked, and just in case, I'm sleeping with my gun beside my bed. April 6, 1978. I had a bad dream last night. I dreamed I was back in that dark part of the woods, but it was darker, almost pitch black, and that thing was staring at me. Then I woke up. I think it was running after me. I heard it bellowing the same low sound behind me as I ran. The forest seemed to go on forever and ever, and the more I ran, the darker it got. I tripped over a branch and the thing was closing in on me, baring its teeth, stained with fresh blood. I felt its claws sink into my skin, and all I could see was its black, gaping maw closing in on me, its putrid breath blowing in my face. Then this time, I knew I was truly awake, and it was just another nightmare. I was on edge the rest of the day. I had been looking over my shoulder ever so often. I nearly lost it when I heard something tapping on the window upstairs. It turned out to be a tree branch knocking against the glass. Because of the wind. Oh well. April 7th, 1978. I couldn't sleep last night. Every time I tried, the same dream nightmare returned. Except it was more real, more vivid. Like I was really back there in the woods with that awful beast. I spent the night watching television. Nothing much good was on, but I was glad just to have something to take my mind off of the woods. Early this morning, I thought I heard something outside. I didn't find anything unusual. When I went out to check, it must have been some animal, a raccoon maybe. There are no birds out today. That's odd. Usually I can hear them singing by now. Went into town and got a case of beer. That should help my nerves. April 8th, 1978. I woke up to something scratching at the door in the middle of the night. I went out, shotgun in hand, to see what was doing it. I was out there for a half hour and I didn't see anything. There still aren't any birds out. Later, I looked at the scratch marks on the front door. They look like they're from a wildcat, but they never come this close around here, and I Really don't want to think about what else it could be. April 9th, 1978. Another sleepless night. I had the worst damn headache. I feel like nails have been pounded into my skull. I took 2 aspirins, but it's not helping. I can barely concentrate on writing this, and my eyes feel so heavy. Why can't I sleep, damn it? I can't shake that feeling that I'm being watched everywhere I go. I'm seeing things out of the corner of my eye. I couldn't sleep at all last night, and I don't think tonight will be any different. I spent the last hour checking time, and again to see if all the doors are locked. I went back to the dirt trail, and I saw a dead blue jay. Its head was torn off, and its bright blue feathers were stained red with blood. I swear I heard something breathing back there. It was a stupid thing to do going back there, but I went anyway. April 10th, 1978. I haven't slept at all, and I'm so tired, but every time I try to sleep, I see it again. Every time I close my eyes, I'm back in the woods with that thing, and it's standing over me about to sink its teeth into my neck, and I scream and find myself back here. I'm seeing things moving, little shadows moving between the trees and in the corners. I just don't know what to do. I see these shadows and things moving in all corners of my rooms, and I had all the lights on since yesterday. I have not turned them off once, not even once. They have to stay on, or that thing could hide in the dark until it comes after me, and I have to be ready for it. I just have to be ready. Oh God, I heard its voice. I remember when I was young and I used to laugh at the kids who believed in ghosts and monsters. I don't know what that thing is, but that's the only word for it. A monster. Something that can't be, shouldn't be, but is. But it is. Nobody believes you when you tell them you've seen a monster. Not until they're the ones that see it. If I had my camera with me, I could have had proof. Something to show them, so they know that I'm not just seeing things. I heard it again, and it's closer. It's getting closer. All the doors are locked. I checked again and again, and I'm sure they are locked. And there is something scratching at the door, and oh God, it's in the house. It's in the